Okay, great. So here we go. Can everybody see my screen? Okay. Yes. I'll zoom in. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Okay, so first I'm going to go through and I'm just going to give you guys a super, super high level overview of RealEstateContent.ai and how to use it. We're not going to go too deep into the nitty gritty just because a good chunk of you have already used a lot of this stuff. You've filled in your profile questions, so I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I'll give you a quick overview of it. And then we're going to be focusing the majority of our time here on the editor specifically, and how to create a variety of posts. So we're going to quickly go through an overview and then we'll go in depth on the editor. So when you log into your RealEstateContent.ai account, what you're going to see is a calendar like this. Most likely yours is probably empty. But as you can see, these different posts here, all the different colors are different posts for different platforms. What you're going to do first is you're going to start in your profile right here. And this is going to prompt you to just answer a couple questions about yourself, the areas you're servicing, your clients, your niche, and just any kind of interesting things about you and your bio. So just take a quick second to do that whenever you log in, and then you'll be set to go. So think about when you use ChatGPT, for an example, and you're prompting ChatGPT and you're giving it information about yourself. This is basically doing the same thing. So this is going to make it so that when you generate content, it's generating content that's specific to the area that you're servicing. It's generating content that is specific to your clients and your background. It's not going to be generic. It's not like everybody's getting the same content, and it's because of this. So just take a couple of seconds just to fill that out. Once you're done filling that out, you're going to head over to integrations right here, and you're just going to go through the process of connecting each of your accounts. So we can connect to a Facebook business page, an Instagram business page, a LinkedIn. Right now it's your personal LinkedIn, but we're actually working on launching business pages on LinkedIn as well. That being said, it's entirely up to you. I actually would prefer to post on a personal LinkedIn just because I feel like that's where all your connections are, but it'll be entirely up to you guys. X/Twitter, if you have one of those, and then a TikTok as well. So it's not going to generate content for you for TikTok, but you do have the ability to connect your TikTok to the platform. So that way, if you do want to schedule your own videos, put those in the mix, you can totally do that. So then you'll be all set to go. You're going to go back into your calendar here. You're going to go back into your calendar here, and you're going to have the option to select a topic or a theme that you want to create content around. So one of the things that I always tell our users is to just think about the conversations you are having with your clients every single day. What sorts of questions are they asking you? Why are you recommending certain neighborhoods? What are their pain points? You know your clients best. So try to think about those conversations that you're having and then type out a topic around that. If you can't think of anything, of course, you can go ahead, you can click this button right here, the suggest topic button. This is going to give you a bunch of different topics that you can choose from that are all kind of around your profile questions. So the area you service and your niche, it'll give you a bunch of different topic ideas. And then, of course, you can always suggest more. You can always clear your topics. So you're never going to run out of topics to talk about. But I always tell people, especially with AI, it's going to do a really good job of giving you very real estate heavy topics. But the fun stuff. So, like, why is your area really great for people who love hiking? Or why is it great for dog owners? Or what are the 4 best coffee shops? Why is this neighborhood fantastic for people, looking to put a pool in their backyard, for an example, stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to click suggest topic. We're going to click generate. So when you click generate, you have 2 different options here. You can generate just regularly, and that'll be kind of like using ChatGPT now. So most AI models are trained up until a certain point. Basically, they've been fed a ton of information. That's their knowledge base, and that's how they come up with content or come up with a response to you. So this is great for stuff that hasn't changed in the past few years. ChatGPT is trained, I believe, until the end of 2023. So a lot of the stuff is relevant. I mean, most, trails in your area haven't changed, or neighborhoods that are great for pools haven't changed. But if you're trying to create content around anything that is currently going on, so anything in the news, maybe the current elections or the tariffs or interest rates, in that case, if you want the model to search the web live, what you're going to do is you're going to click this little arrow right here, and you're going to change it from the regular generate to the generate with web search. And what this is going to do is it's going to, I'm just going to zoom in here so you guys can see it. What this is going to do is it's going to allow the model to search the web. And I always tell people, if you're using this, just make sure that you're very clear on what your topic is. Don't just put, coffee shops, because that's like Googling coffee shops.
Better.
Coffee shops where? Coffee shops, what about them? You want to put something a little bit more specific, like for the 4 best coffee shops in Austin, Texas. And that's going to create a really, really awesome search for you. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to generate regularly, and then you're going to go ahead and click that button. It's going to take you to this little left sidebar right here, where it'll allow you to choose up to 7 days to generate for. The reason why we choose 7 days at a time is because AI is awesome, but there's really only so many ways you can talk about how to spot a home with hidden problems without sounding a little repetitive. So we always tell people, okay, this is great, you can generate, but don't generate 30 days worth of content about that one topic. You're going to be able to generate 7 days worth of content. And what I like to tell people is, instead of doing 7 days in a row like this, try to split those posts up. So what you want to try to do is try to do maybe 7 Mondays in a row like this. So that way you're talking about this one topic. It's going to be spread apart. It's not like you're overkill talking about one thing for 7 days straight. Gives it a little bit more variety. Bonus points if you actually make it every other Monday, or just really try to kind of space things around. So let's say I'm just going to choose maybe the 30th here, let Nada back in, choose the 30th here, and then you're going to choose which platforms you would like to generate content for. So let's say you want to do Instagram, Facebook, Twitter /X, and LinkedIn. And then you're going to go ahead and you're just going to click generate right down here, and you're going to allow it to generate. So as you can see, when your posts are generating on the calendar, you're going to see this little shimmering, these little shimmering boxes. So this just means that it's doing its thing. It's generating those posts. Give it a second, because what it's doing is it's actually creating a different post for each separate platform that's optimized for each individual platform. So as you can see, these are done or close to done. And when you click into them, you're going to be able to just quickly at a glance see which platform the post is for. So this one's for Instagram, this one's for Facebook, we've got one for LinkedIn, and one for Twitter /X. And then at a quick glance, you can actually go ahead and check out each caption, and you can see that each caption is also optimized for each different platform. So it's all about how to tell if a home's fresh paint is hiding bigger issues, for an example, but every single caption is going to be optimized for each individual platform. So you're going to see that your Instagram is a little more conversational. It's a little more emoji heavy. Your Facebook is going to be longer and more informational. Your LinkedIn is going to be more professional sounding, and your Twitter /X is going to be obviously shorter so that you can put it out as a tweet. And then through here, if you want to make any changes at all to your caption, you can go ahead and click edit, and you can make any changes you would like to your caption. Maybe you want to remove some of these emojis or change the call to action. You can very easily do that just by clicking edit caption, and then you can click to save. So once you're happy with your post, you're happy with your caption, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go into edit template. So what I'm going to do now, you guys, is I'm just going to show you all the different options you have in the template editor. And then we're going to go through just some example posts so I can show you everything from beginner level status editing all the way up to editing it completely, totally customizable to each one of you. So let's pretend we're playing around with this post. And we say, okay, we're happy with this caption. Now let's go ahead and just change the design.
Irma,
So
can I, it's Richard Silver. Can I ask you a quick question? What do you see as the difference between syndicate and approve?
So this is specifically, we just launched a team plan actually.
Yeah.
So because my account is a testing account, I have a little bit of a different guys will. But for those of you who are interested in team plans, this makes it super cool. So you can have one admin like myself who's creating posts. and then they can click to syndicate. And basically those posts go on our team members' calendars. And then you can
Good.
post for them. Super fun and exciting. But for most of you guys, you're not going to see the syndicate button, so just ignore that part.
Sorry.
So that's a great question, and good, because I definitely don't want to create confusion for you guys either. But yeah, for those of you that are looking for a team plan, we just launched those a couple months ago, so that's why mine has that. Okay, cool. So I went ahead, just quickly changed the text because my default colors were darker for the subtext. But basically, when you click into edit template, I'm just going to zoom out just so you guys can see the full thing. But when you click into edit template, you're going to have the ability now to edit this post. All of the RealEstateContent.ai generated posts are going to default to a carousel style post. So what that is an informational style swipe through carousel style posts. You've probably seen them online. They tend to perform really well in addition to Reels. Reels also tend to perform really well. What I'm going to show you guys today is how you can use the carousel post. I'm going to show you guys how you can swap to a Reel. I'm going to show you guys how you can swap to a static image, how you can create a variety of different posts. So if you want just carousel posts going out, awesome, cool. Meta loves them. They see this as a high value post, something you put time into creating. So it's good, but I tend to like a little bit of variety. So I'm going to show you guys how we can create that variety. But just know that when your posts generate, you're going to see a carousel style post like this. So each one of these is a different slide in that swipe through carousel style post. So when you click into edit template, you're going to see a view that looks like this. Each of these is a slide that's fully editable. And then we have a bunch of different options here on the left-hand side. So on the left-hand side, we have presets, backgrounds, overlays, colors, and contact information. So in your presets, think of these guys here as kind of like templates that are good places to start. So let's say you're like, ooh, I like this kind of vibe. I just want to tweak a couple of things about it. I just want to tweak the color, or I want to change the background, or this is a good starting point for me here. These are good starting points. This is kind of like when you get on Canva and you look up birthday invitations, and it gives you a bunch of different birthday invitation templates. And now it's on you to edit the colors and the date and the time and information. Think of presets as that, just very quick templates to start with. So you can totally click into one of those. We also have those same ones for Reels. So think of these as Reel presets. These are going to have a nice little hook on them. So of course, it's not going to be the carousel style post. It's going to be a Reel, and it's an aesthetic style B-roll video. So think, let me just click into one of these. So think a video that loops. It's 3 to 7 seconds long, and it's going to loop. And as people read your hook and as people read your caption, every time that B-roll video loops, it's going to count as a view. So if you want to swap your carousel style post to a Reel, you can find them in your presets. They're also going to have some audio added to them as well. Very, very quick and easy if you just want to click a preset. Then you also have the ability to save your presets. So as you're playing around with your designs, if you make something that you really like and you're like, ooh, I want to use this again in the future, as you're playing around, what you can do is you can click this save button just right here, and you can save it as a preset for you to use again in the future. This is really important to remember, because what I'm going to show you after is how you can use the same preset for the same post each day. So if you like something that you've designed, you want to come back to it, go ahead and hit save preset. You're going to have a bunch of different options to choose from in the future. So as you can see, I've played around with mine a lot. So I have a lot in here to choose from, but you'll kind of build that up over time. So I'm just going to go back into a carousel style post, and let's say we like this. Let's say I like this box, but I want to make some changes. Your next option is to swap around your background. So as you go into your backgrounds and scroll through, you'll see that you have, I think we're at over 4,000 plus images now in here as you kind of scroll down. So you have a bunch of different options that you can choose from to swap out your background. So as you kind of scroll through, maybe you're like, ooh, I like this, buying a home, watch out for a paint refresh. I don't know if I like that background. I kind of want something different. As you scroll through, you can go ahead and click. And what that's going to do is that's going to apply that background to all of your slides. But then if you want to take it one step further and you want to change the background for each individual slide, you can actually go ahead and click into it, change, click into the next slide, change. Makes it super, super easy for you to customize fully customize the post just like that and change your backgrounds. So fun. Let's say we like that. We're like, okay, this gives us a little bit of variety. Awesome. You can totally do that. Your other option here in backgrounds is to upload your own images as well. So in uploads, as you click into it, you're going to see mine is just a little wild. So I have a bunch of different uploads in here. This is a great place for you to upload images you've taken, images of your team, stock photo images that maybe there's some really great ones of your area that you want to use in the future as a background. You can upload your headshot on a transparent background. You can upload your logo on a transparent background, all this fun stuff that you can use in the future. This is probably one of my favorite features. So you can go ahead, upload all this fun stuff. And then if you want to use it, you can either click into it to change your background, or if you want to just add an image or a logo or a headshot as a little added sticker, see this little plus sign just right to the right of each of the images. If you go ahead and click that little plus sign, what it's going to do is it's going to add that image as a sticker, which makes it really, really easy for you to further customize your post. So if you want to put your headshot on your post, or if you want to put your logo, just really kind of play around with it, you can totally do that. And then you can even control the layers. So as you right click, you can control where this appears on your post. So you can bring it forward, send it backwards, same as your boxes. Maybe you want to bring this one forward. You can go ahead and bring it to the front, and maybe we'll file space just like this. You can fully customize it. I know one of our users, I think he's still in here. One of our users, Jason, is doing a really awesome job with these layers. Probably one of the best examples I've seen
right now. And the reason I haven't picked up
Actually, Irma,
I
I actually have a question for you. When you're uploading a photograph to put as a what size does the photograph have to be? Because the trouble I'm having is uploading it and then it goes into the crop. I'm losing a lot of the photo.
So for the upload, I don't know off the top of my head what the ideal size is. It's zooming in or it's zooming out?
So when I upload the photograph from, I guess, the camera roll, and then you have to crop it before you can save it, it's cropping only a certain part of the picture. So I'm not getting the full picture that I need. So I know that, or what I've learned is I have to shrink that picture size before I upload it so I can crop, but I can't remember what size it's meant to be.
Okay. I don't know off the top of my head right now, but what we can do is we can email you after the fact.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately, but we can definitely shoot you off an email after.
Thank you.
One quick thing. So just jumping in here super quickly on the image sizes. So we have been getting feedback right now, specifically around the listing posts as well. So as you know, broadly speaking, you've got vertical style images. So that's kind of like your Instagram. They're more like tall, but then you've got your length-wide images. And that's just like people that are taking professional photos, or usually see it a lot with listing posts. So normally we always give you guys a default crop that's specific for social media, which focuses on the vertical. The feedback that you guys are looking for some horizontal crop ability as well. So we are currently working on that. So if there's a lot of people that are kind of like if there's people that want not only different abilities to crop, we can also try to put out a little bit more information around like what the best upload sizes are. We had sent out an email initially, and it's even confusing for me. Like I'm not good when it comes to image sizes, because they hit you with the aspect ratio and then all this type, and you're like, what am I doing here? But we'll resend that out, and we'll give you guys an update once we start looking at the horizontal crop as well, and just try to overhaul that whole thing.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. So you guys can control your layers through here. Just make sure that can you guys hear me okay? Yes. Okay, awesome. So you guys can control your layers through here. This is also a great option if you want to create collage kind of style posts. I've seen a lot of people do that, which is super interesting. Maybe if you have a listing, maybe if you're talking about multiple features or multiple locations, you can go ahead and click to create kind of carousel style or collage style posts. And then your other option also is reels. So again, remember the preset reels are the ones that have an overlay and have colors already on them that you can obviously edit. But the backgrounds with the reels are ones that are just videos. So always just give this a couple seconds because the videos take a little bit longer to load in. But as they load in, you'll see you have a bunch of different aesthetic style B-roll posts. So if you'd rather reel go out, you can kind of go through this, select any one of these. Maybe you're like, okay, I like this. And it's going to go ahead and swap that for you. I'm going to remove Kyle off of that and remove this. So it's going to go ahead and swap that carousel style post for a reel. So it's entirely up to you. The other options you have in here. So I'm just going to go in and choose a random background that we can keep playing around with. Let's say this right here. The other option you guys have here is advanced settings. So this is often missed in editing, but I love this because if you open up these advanced settings, you can actually choose how you want this background to show up. So do you want it to be a little bit brighter? Do you want it to be this kind of middle, has a little bit of a transparency on it? Do you want it to be totally dark? So maybe you want it dark like that. Maybe you want it super bright like that. You just double click and it'll apply to each of the slides. The other thing to keep in mind with the overlays, the backgrounds, all that good stuff is you can double click. Anything you double click is going to apply to all slides. Or if you want to make changes to each individual slide, you can also do that. To make changes to each individual slide, you're going to click into each individual slide and then click into the background or click into the change you want to make. To make changes to all of them, you just simply double click and that's going to be applied to each individual slide. So makes it super, super easy to just edit the entire carousel post as much as you want, as much or as little as you want. It really just depends how much time you want to put into it. Same as overlays. So I'm going to go back into this one here. You have a bunch of different overlays that you can choose from here as well. Maybe you like this square. Maybe you're like, okay, I want to do this sort of thing or this sort of thing. Entirely customizable. You can change it per each individual slide, or if you double click, it's going to apply to all of your slides. You also have advanced settings just right here on the left-hand side, advanced settings. Where you can choose the transparency of this as well. So if you want it to be the lightest, maybe a little bit darker, maybe you want it to be totally bold like this, you can do that as well. And then as you're kind of going through, you can change all the text. So maybe you want to change the actual copy of it, or maybe you just want to change the font. So you want it to be something more like this or like this.
Can I ask a simple question?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. When I press twice on the template, let's call it like that, and it changes everything, and I didn't want to do it that way, how can I go back to the way it was? Because it happened to me before, so I couldn't do anything. So I have to go back and do the whole thing again.
Yeah, you can just click this undo button just right here on the right side.
Didn't see that one. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, I have it on a bit of a weird view right now because I'm like zooming in and zooming out, but it's just right here on the right-hand side. So anything you're like, ooh, yikes, I did not want to do that. Just go ahead and click do. Sometimes it might take a couple times just because even like the little movements that you make like this, it'll undo that. So if it registers any small movement, it might not look like it's undoing, but it is. So just undo until you get to the point where you're like, ah, this is where I left off.
Didn't see that. Thank you so much.
I have a quick question. So when you're doing the AI thing and says buying a home, watch out for the fresh paint, is it that way all the way through the carousel, or do they give different ideas throughout the carousel?
Each slide is different. So it's like an informational style post. So as you kind of scroll through, it's going to say, okay, do this, inspect corners and edges, spot mismatch paint, check for bulging and warping, etc. So every slide has a different piece of information for the reader to read. This is just kind of the cover slide.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it too. And the cool thing about it is that Meta loves videos and Meta loves carousels because to them, they're like, okay, this user put in the time to create this carousel post. This is something that, it wasn't just like a quick post that was posted. It's somebody took the time, and that's what they really like. So I like that. I like mixing it in, which I'm going to show you guys how to do in a second. I like mixing in with other types of posts so that you're not only posting carousels, but I do think it's really important to have a variety of posts and to put out carousels as well too. Okay, cool. So you can edit your copy. You can also edit your fonts. So I went ahead and just changed this to poster. Again, I've changed it for this one slide, but if I want to apply it to all, I'm just going to click apply all here. Now it's applied to all of my slides. I can change the sizing. I can change it. I can change the bold, like make it bold or less bold. I can make it italic or not. I can change where it's aligned to. So maybe we want it center aligned, go apply all. So it's totally, totally customizable. You can even move these overlays around too. Maybe you want this one here and you want this one here, whatever. Entirely customizable. Then we've got color.
Sorry. Is there a rule on how often you put your photo up, or do you just, is that like kind of like a, oh, look at me, 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 me? Is there a bragging thing?
That is a fantastic question. Personally, I do not love photos up on everything. I think that that's a very real estate industry specific thing that we've kind of been taught to, like, put your headshot on everything, put your headshot on everything. I do think it's a little overkill. I think it's okay to have your headshot on a couple posts here and there, your contact information on a couple posts here and there. But I do also like just sprinkling in things that aren't so heavily branded to you and heavily, like, I think about the types of clients that you want following you. Like, who is going to look at a real estate account and be like, oh, I just love this. I really want to learn about how interest rates are going to, no, like, let's be honest. Honestly, most people are not going around trying to look for agents online so they can learn. These are all things that they can Google. They want to see a personality. So, you know, give them some informational style posts, but then also post a photo of you and your dog going for a hike on the weekend. Post a photo of you and your team. Post your 4 favorite coffee shops, something that shows them that you're a human being and that isn't so like in your face, branded. Because I even think about, like, you know, when you follow Nike, for an example, you don't follow Nike because all of their stuff says Nike, Nike, Nike. You follow Nike because they have really cool, kind of interesting posts that aren't even related to Nike. But I know that's a bit of like a controversial take. A lot of agents love to put their stuff all over everything. So you have the option to do whatever you would like. I say sprinkle it in here and there, have a couple posts go out with your contact info, but like, don't overkill it. People know if they're on your Instagram, you know, they know they can contact you. They can see your email. They don't need to see it on every single post you put out. But again, it's entirely up to you. I'm going to show you guys right after this how I would set up a full week's worth of content. And you'll see that some of it has contact info and some of it doesn't. And then you can kind of decide how you want to take it from there. So the next thing are colors. So we've got a bunch of different color templates that you guys can choose from when you're editing your posts. So as you kind of scroll through, you'll see some color templates. If you look at mine, you can see that I have a ton in here. It's just because I play around with my account a lot. But my best suggestion is to create a variety of different templates for yourself so that when you go into the editor, it's making it super easy for you guys to edit. So as you can see in this middle area right here, how all of these templates here are kind of similar. They're all variations of the same color palette, but just swapped around. So what I usually tell people is when you have your color palette, let's pretend this isn't a great color palette, but let's pretend that this is my color palette. When you have your color palette, this is awesome. You like it, you want to use it in the future, go ahead and click Save Colors. So I'm going to zoom in for you guys and then click Save As. It's going to create a color palette for you down here. Now shuffle those colors around. Just super quickly shuffle them around. See how it looks. Okay, cool. I could use that again in the future. Go ahead, click Save As. It takes a couple of seconds, literally a couple of seconds per color palette. Just create yourself 10 of them. That way, the next time you go into the editor, you're just going to click into Edit Template and you're simply just going to go, oh, let's try. Let me zoom out. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Oh, okay. I like some aspects of this. Maybe I'll just tweak it ever so slightly. Let's try this. It makes it so much easier for you to use your same colors over and over and over again, have a variety of them, but you're not physically typing in your hex code every single time. Now you've got, 10 of them to choose from and you just click, 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 click. Okay, I like the way this one looks. Apply all. Fantastic. If you guys need any help at all doing that, Tara and I have kind of got this down to like a science. So if you want to email us ever at support@RealEstateContent.ai, just give us your color palette, your hex codes, and we can go in and kind of play around with them and create a variety for you to use in the future. But that's definitely a nice little way for you guys to make it a lot easier to edit your posts in the future. And then again, if you want to delete a color palette, just zoom in. If you want to delete a color palette, just right down here, you have this trash can, so you can delete one, or you can duplicate it as well. So you can duplicate it and then make small tweaks to it and save it as a new one. Makes it super easy to just kind of customize your posts. You can also use this little color picker here. Maybe you just want your overlay to match a part of your photo. Maybe you don't have a specific color palette, but you just want it to look aesthetically pleasing. You can use this little color picker, choose a part of the photo you want to match, and then it's going to apply that color to your post. So maybe we like this and we go apply this to the overlay and apply all, and then it's going to go ahead and do that. And then the final thing is, of course, the contact info. So contact info, you can enter in your contact info here. I'm going to zoom in again. And just keep in mind that each of these different lines here is a different, is just a text field. It doesn't mean you have to put your email or your phone number. You could easily put your team name in here. So maybe you go for Rec Realty, something like that. You can put a call to action. You can put whatever you want in there. It's just simply a suggestion. And then headshot logo, same thing. You can use this. You don't have to. You can upload your headshot or your logo. And then again, you can obviously toggle whatever you want on and off. This little background toggle is going to add that little bubble behind your contact information. So you also have that option. So once you're happy with your post, you can go ahead and you can click save and exit. Zoom out, save and exit, and then you're good to go. So we'll wait for that to save. And then I'm going to show you guys just how you can kind of go from your generated posts all the way down to fully edited posts, depending on how much time you want to put into it. So we'll exit out of that. What I did here was on the 17th, just zoom in. On the 17th, I went ahead and I generated one Instagram post. So I generated one Instagram post. What I put in was the top 4 places to check out to eat in Austin, Texas. So I put that in, I generated an Instagram post, and then I went ahead and I just duplicated the post just so I could show you all the different ways that you could edit it. So we're going to start from the beginning here to 0 edits at all the way down to fully customized. And I'm just going to walk you guys through exactly what changes I made for each one of them, so that you can see, you know, maybe you just want to leave it at the generated post and you don't have the time to look at it today. Or maybe you want to get really, really creative all the way down to adding your headshot and changing the backgrounds and all that good stuff. I'll show you kind of how you can customize each post. So I went ahead. This is our Instagram post. Talking about 4 places to eat in Austin, Texas. It generated an image for us, just of some houses. Okay, cool. These all look like homes that could be sold in Austin. Great. It put this overlay on there. It's in my colors. I'm like, you know what? This works. This totally works. This is in my colors. It's legible. I can see the text. I gave the caption a once over. All of these places are legit. I've been to all of them. Awesome. Cool. I don't want to make any changes. This is totally fine. Nobody's going to see this on my Instagram and be like, oh my gosh, like, why did they post this? It makes sense. It's a house. It's in a sunny area. We're talking about Austin places to eat. Great. Schedule and approve.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, for sure.
So, sorry, I'm taking up all the time.
No, oh my God.
So when you're doing in the editor or in the AI thing, places to eat, can it also populate the outside of the restaurant and not a house? Or do you have to go take pictures, or do you like get those off the internet?
Yeah. So we're going to get into that in a second. Okay. Right now, what we're working on is improving the image tags. So the AI is going to do the best that it can to go through those. I think we're at like 4,000 plus images in the library. It's going to do the best that it can to just find images that seem relevant to the topic. Sometimes it screws up though. Like I've seen, if you generate in January, for an example, it thinks that it's winter everywhere. So when you're generating, it's like, oh, here's a house with snow, but you could be in Florida. So you're like, no, that's not what my January looks like. So right now we're actually going through image by image by image to improve the tags on each image. So you should see over the next few weeks, it really improve its search. So it's going to do the best that it can to kind of find something that it's like, okay, this is similar. If it can't find something similar, it's just going to be like, okay, here's a house, like it did here for Austin. And I'm like, okay, fantastic, a house. I'm a real estate agent. Cool. Like, that's fine. But if you want to take it one step further, I'm going to walk you guys through right now all the different things you can do to tweak it further. So step number 2. So let's say I'm like, okay, I don't want the house. I want it to be more restaurant focused. What I did for this one here specifically was I just simply went into the library and I found one image that's a restaurant. And I made it the background for everything. I just quickly double clicked it, made it the background. I'm like, cool. I didn't change the overlay. I didn't change anything else about it. I just simply wanted the image to be a little bit more relevant. So I double clicked and I hit save. And I was like, okay, cool. We're done with this. So already now it's a little bit more relevant to what I'm posting. Now, let's say I want to take it just one step further. One step further, I'm still using the editor. I'm still using the images. What I did for this one here, so this is the next level. What I did for this one was I changed the overlay. So I said, you know what? I don't love this overlay. I'm going to change it to this overlay right here. And I'm just going to tweak the text as well, the font. So I like this font and I like this font better. Let's center align it. Let's put this overlay in the middle. And then instead of making the background just that one restaurant image, I just quickly went ahead and I swapped from the image library each background to be a restaurant background. So all of these are in the image library. This is nice. This makes it so that as people are scrolling through, they're seeing a variety of images. They're all restaurant related. Perfect. And it just took me a couple seconds more than this one here took me by choosing the one image. Now, let's say I want to take it one step further. So I want those same, you know, a different background for each different slide, but now I just want it to be a little bit more branded to me. So here, what I did was I took Kyle over here, Robert Rec, and I took his headshot that's on a transparent background that I uploaded into the uploads. So remember how we were in the uploads? And I just clicked that little plus button to use him as a sticker. And I put him in here with his headshot and I just kind of put him down here and I controlled the layers to put his contact info right here. Now you could keep that headshot in there, but what I did was I just swapped the image from the headshot into his logo because I was like, okay, perfect. Now I can have his headshot on something and a little bit of his logo as well. I controlled the layers. I brought that in front. And now as you scroll through, as you can see, each background is all those different restaurants, but now I've got my own headshot on it and my contact information. So that's one step further. Let's say you want to take it one step even further. You're like, you know what? I want everybody to know I am a local expert. I live here. I live in Austin, Texas. I've been to these places. I know what I'm talking about. Here, what I did was I swapped the overlay. So we changed around the colors of the overlay, the text. Awesome. I kept that same kind of cover photo from the library image that I found on Rec. But then I was like, okay, I want to make it a little bit more specific. So I just went online on Google and I just clicked into, okay, so this is talking about Franklin's barbecue. This is talking about Torchy's tacos. This one's talking about home slice pizza. And this one's Uchi sushi. So I just went through and I Googled those places and I took an image of each and then I put it into the uploader and I simply turned those into the background. So now as someone scrolls through, they're like, oh, okay, cool. Franklin's barbecue, tacos, fun. It just shows that you took a little bit of extra time to just make it super, super custom. And then to take it one step further, what I did was I actually went into here and in your Instagram post, you can actually tag other users as well. You can also collaborate, but for here, we're tagging other users. And I went ahead and I looked up each of these different businesses. So I looked up Franklin's, Torchy's, Home Slice, Uchi, and I tagged them in my post. So I just made sure that I didn't have any spelling mistakes, that it's the right account, all good. And then I just simply edited my caption just to tag them in the caption as well. And the reason why I did this, you're probably like, okay, what are these restaurants going to do with, you know, my real estate posts? Like, what's the point of tagging them? You guys have to remember when you're on social media, literally human beings are on social media because they like the acknowledgement, especially other businesses. The more people acknowledge their business, the more they're like, okay, awesome, cool. The more likely they are to share that to their stories or them to interact with you or them to like it or comment. You're getting more chances for more engagement, but then as they share it, think about how many people follow Franklin's Barbecue or Uchi Sushi that are local to your area. Probably most people following those places are local to those places. I'm not following any coffee shops in Australia because I don't live in Australia. I'm following places that are local to me. So as that business gets that post, they've been now posted in a top 4 places to eat at in Austin. They're like, oh, cool. Okay, let's share this to our stories. And now your post is getting even more reach. And now that business is like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should take a second and follow this person back. Which we're going to do an engagement workshop for you guys next month. But I'm also a big believer in taking the time to go and follow all the local businesses in your area, because that definitely grows your followers. But this is just one quick step that you can do that acknowledges another local business and helps to make it so that you get more reach. Same thing, if somebody's looking up Franklin Barbecue and they go into their tagged photos, they're going to see a tagged photo that you've posted, tagging them in it. Again, another way for someone who's local to you to be able to see your posts. And all it takes is literally just saving a photo on Google and uploading it as a background and then swapping it and tagging each account. And then the final one I did was just one where you're like, you know what? I don't want to do the carousel style post. I just want to swap it for my own image that I've taken. Maybe it's one of you at one of these restaurants. So here's Kyle, AKA Robert Rec. So we've gone ahead and just totally swapped that carousel style post. And in order to do that, what you do is instead of clicking into the edit template, you're just going to click into upload your own content. Anytime you click upload your own content, it's going to completely scrap that carousel style post, and it's going to allow you to upload a photo or a video of your own. So what I did was, here's Kyle, he's at barbecue, awesome. I post that. Now I still have that awesome optimized caption here, but it's a little bit more personal. And you can do this with anything. You can do this, you're at a coffee shop, you're, walking a trail. It could even be a stock photo that you found online. It's entirely up to you, but you do have that option too if you're just trying to create just like a static post. So as you can see, just with this one post, starting from what was generated all the way down, you have so many different options of how you can kind of make it your own. So I think that's that for that. We're going to get into the next part, which is just a variety of posts for the week. But I'll take a second to just take a breather and then have you guys have ask any additional questions if you have them, if there's anything that I missed.
Okay, so while Irma gets ready for the next part, I'll just quickly touch on some things that I noticed were coming up a lot in the chat. So first of all, Craig, and I know there was someone else who was asking about Irma's comment around posting on multiple Mondays. So right off the bat, so Craig, you were asking, hey, if I go ahead and make a post about the top 5 things about X or the top 5 tips about XYZ, how do you spread them out so that they're not back to back to back, aka Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? That's what Irma was saying, where if you have an entire month, let's say you start on March 1st, instead of making 5 posts, so once again, it's 5 things to know about XYZ, instead of doing that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, do it the first Monday of the week, the second Monday of the week, the third Monday of the week, the fourth Monday of the week. And that way you've got continuity in what you're talking about, but it's not like it's every single day back to back. So if it's the top 5 things to keep in mind to help your house close fast in the spring, some people do want it where it's like, okay, that's what I'm talking about this week, and we're going to spend the entire week talking about that. But then we also get some people who are like, oh, it's repetitive, I want to break it up a little bit. Well, no problem. So do your Mondays where it's the top 5 things to keep in mind about having a fast close in the summer. But then maybe Tuesday, you do like financial tips. So tips to securing a mortgage when tariffs are a possibility, something like that. And then you can do that for all of your Tuesdays. So now over the course of a week, you've got this big variety of content, but on a week-to-week basis, you've got some continuity. So that's just one thing to keep in mind there. Another big one, the Facebook collage issue. So that will no longer be a problem as of next week. That's on our list right now. Here's what's happening. As you guys know, Instagram is doing carousels where you do multiple slides and you can scroll through them. Facebook doesn't even allow you to do that. Like, you can't actually do those types of posts on Facebook. So what's happening is when you guys are posting the multiple slides on Facebook, they all get bunched together because Meta doesn't allow you. Facebook does not allow you to do that. So what we're going to do, what you'll see, and I'm glad that this is a good question. So as of next week, probably next Friday, we're going to send an email update. But when you generate your content, you will only get one Facebook image. That way you don't have to worry about there being a bunch of collaged images together. It just doesn't look as good. So Instagram, you'll have all your collages, or sorry, all of your carousels. Facebook, we're switching to one image. We will alter the AI so that it's not like we're just cutting out the additional 7 slides. No, the text on that one image is going to be more of a hook. So it'll be a hook that's kind of like, stopping the reader, and then it's going to prompt, well, not actually prompt them, but it's going to tell them to read the caption for more information. So we're going to do that. So that's one thing. Lots of feedback on color palettes, which is making me think that this might be an interesting overhaul in general. Number one was deleting color palettes. Yes, you can delete color palettes. You cannot delete the color palettes that come preset with the system. So there's about maybe like 10 to 15 that we have preset in there, but you can create your own color palettes. So like Irma was saying, you can save a color palette. You can delete those anytime you want. You'll find a little garbage can inside the color palette editor. When you see a garbage can, you can click delete saved color palette. So that's one thing. But the color palettes had deleting color palettes, naming color palettes, and organizing color palettes. So leave that with us. We will consider doing a bit of an overhaul on the color palettes to address those things. And then the final big thing that was a big question was schedule posting times. Posting times have become really irrelevant when it comes to social media. I'm not going to go into the details of it. If you've been on our other sort of AI social media webinars, you hear me talk for like 15 minutes on the algorithms and how they're interest-based. But it used to be very important to strategically choose your posting time. It doesn't matter as much anymore. That's why we just default to noon. But regardless, a lot of people are asking for it. So I think we'll put that on the list where you can already not only change your posting time individually, but yes, you should be able to choose a range of times while you're generating and then have them slot in there. So we've got that as a note. And then that's pretty much it. There's some image search questions. I think I've mentioned this before. This one's probably more about like 30 days out. So next week, you're going to have the Facebook issue taken care of, a couple other things taken care of. This one's probably about 30 days out where we're doing an image overhaul. So image search. So once again, it'll do a better job of picking the right image for you. But then you being able to just type in a top, I want an image of a backyard. You'll be able to do that, but that's about 30 days out. So just things to consider. I want to give a quick update on that, but everything else is going pretty smooth. There might be some people that have direct questions.
Cool. Okay, awesome. I did just quickly go through the chat just as quick as I could. And I saw a question about hashtags and a question about the new video script feature. So I'll quickly touch on that right now before we get into the full week of variety of posts. So I'm just going to go ahead into the calendar super quick. And we're just going to pick just a random topic here and generate. So when you're in your generate view right here, you are going to have the ability to click into advanced settings. So see advanced settings just right down here. You can open this up. And as you can see, you have a bunch of different options to choose from here. So since we went through the editor, now you guys kind of have a better idea of what each of these things means. So what the presets are and what the backgrounds are and your contact info and all that good stuff. So as you're kind of scrolling through here, think through, okay, random presets. What that's going to do is it's going to go through all those random templates and it's going to choose one of those if you toggle that on. Saved presets is all those saved designs that I had. It'll choose from one of those. So if you only have a couple of saved presets in there, I would say stay away from that just because it's not going to give you a ton of variety. I love to toggle on random backgrounds because that's going to search the library. That's going to search the library of images and just plop in a random background. So that'll give you a ton of variety. Saved backgrounds is going to be anything you guys have uploaded. So, from a stock photo website or photos that you've taken, stuff like that, it's going to choose from those. Again, if you've only uploaded 10 to 20 backgrounds, I would stay away from that because it's always just going to pick from those 10 to 20. But once you have a good bank of images, then that's a good one to kind of toggle on. Contact info is whether or not you want your generations to generate with your contact info added or not. Colors is whether or not you want your custom colors to be applied to what's generated. So if you want to see your colors, you're going to click into edit and it's going to take you to your color palette and you can just make sure that that's the one you want to edit with or generate with. And then hashtag. So we do have this hashtag option here. You can toggle it on or off and you can click into edit. So what this is going to do is it's going to give you the ability to add your own hashtags. And when toggled on, those hashtags are going to be included at the end of each of the generated captions. For For hashtags, things to keep in mind is one, hashtags don't nearly have the effect that they did like 10 plus years ago. So do not stress about hashtags. I don't, they're not going to be the be all end all that's going to make or break your post. I usually tell people, so most platforms will allow you up to 30 hashtags per post. However, most platforms also penalize you if you use the full 30 because they see it as kind of spammy. So I usually tell people try to stick between 2 to 10 hashtags. Don't go all the way to 30. And you want to find that nice middle ground. So you don't want to go so vague that you're hashtagging something like hashtag home or hashtag realtor, because think about how many people use that hashtag around the world every single day. The hashtag home is probably used thousands and thousands of times a day. So if you're hashtagging one of your posts hashtag home, you're basically just throwing away that hashtag. It's going to get lost in a sea of all these other people hashtagging home all over the world. And those people aren't local to you. Like, you don't know who they are. They're not going to become a client. They're just people hashtagging home, if they even find you. Then you don't want to go so specific that you're like hashtag Michael Harris Real Estate 2025 in Austin. Nobody's looking up that hashtag and nobody's using that hashtag. So you want kind of a nice middle. I usually tell people the easiest way that you can do this is look into local businesses in your area. So really iconic coffee shops or restaurants or just, those little local gems that everybody loves, and check to see what are they hashtagging. Click into that hashtag, see are others in your area also using that hashtag. For an example, we're typically in Kitchener and Kitchener. So as you can see on my screen here, Kitchener, they call their downtown DTK, downtown Kitchener. So a lot of the local businesses will hashtag DTK or hashtag downtown Kitchener living. So I went ahead and I just kind of found this little sweet spot. So Kitchener Real Estate, Kitchener Homes, Kitchener Realtor, Homes in Kitchener, downtown Kitchener living. So it's very specific. People could definitely potentially find me there, but it's not so specific that it's like Irma Homes in Kitchener, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's ever going to find that. So a good little, keep it somewhere in the middle. And if you guys have any questions about hashtags too, just feel free to reach out to us. But at the end of the day, do not stress about your hashtags. They are not nearly as, they don't have nearly as big of an impact as they did 10 plus years ago. And then sync backgrounds is basically when you're generating, if you want the same background, so the same design to be applied to every post in that same day on that same generation. So if you're generating Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, of course, all the captions will be different. The copy on the slides will be different. It'll just make it so that each design is the same. So if you want that on, you can toggle that on. And then video scripts, I'm going to touch on video scripts super quick, and then we're going to go into the week's worth of content. So video scripts is a new thing we've launched. I'm going to click into here. When you generate your post, you're going to see this little video button down here, And let's say you like this post, you like what it's about, but you just really want to take a video of your own. And one of the biggest pieces of feedback we got from people was like, I want to eventually make my own reels. I just like, it makes me so nervous to talk in the camera and I don't know what to say. And I don't know how to summarize this valuable piece of information without stumbling over my words. So we've introduced these little video scripts, which basically you can click into here. It's going to generate you a script based off of your post. And it's just something that you can follow. It's not going to record your videos, nothing like that. You can basically set up your phone like this or record directly on your laptop. And you just, this way you're looking at your script. You're not looking down or looking around, and you can just follow it. So, hey, it's Robert Reck. Are you in the hunt for your first home before you get swept away? Blah, 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 blah. Just makes it a lot easier for you to get a video script for content that you like. And then you're not having to go and try to prompt ChatGPT or try to figure it out elsewhere. So that's for the video scripts. So now we're just going to move into the 7 days. So what I did here was I just basically took one full week and I scheduled content for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter/X for every day of the week. And I just went ahead with the things that we learned today and edited each of those posts so that you can kind of see how you can have a bunch of variety in your posts for a full week. So here we have Sunday through until Saturday. All of our posts are generated, and I have a different topic for each day. So I just went ahead, generated each day. We just got some people in the waiting room. Give me 1 second. Get them all in. And as you click through, okay, so I started with our carousel posts. So I went ahead, I made all of these a carousel style post. As you can see, obviously all of the captions are different for each different platform. So you have a ton of variety, but I just went ahead and I made the same design for each post for that day. I like doing this specifically because I think it helps me kind of wrap my head around what types of posts I have had go out. And it's a lot easier than being like, okay, I have this design for Instagram, then this design for Facebook, then this design for LinkedIn. It doesn't matter. As you can see, all of these carousel posts have different content on them. So this slide, different than this slide, different than this slide. It's completely optimized for each separate platform, but it just kind of makes it a little bit easier. So I went ahead, I chose this background from our editor. I chose these overlays, this text. I saved it as a preset so that it's one of my favorite presets that I could easily go back into. And then what I did was I just went into my Facebook post. I clicked edit template and I just simply went into my saved presets and I chose that exact preset. That way you're editing one post, you're editing your Instagram, and then your following ones are simply just selecting a saved preset, save. And now we're good to go. We've got carousel posts that are informational. They're talking about mortgages and they're going out on all 4 platforms for that Sunday. Then the following day, I was like, okay, I want to add a bit more of a personal post. So I went ahead and I uploaded a team photo. So as most of you guys know, you can schedule your own content on Rec as well. So what you do for this is you just click into more options. You're going to upload your own content. It's going to give you a blank post to play with. It's always going to default to Instagram, but you can go ahead and select the platforms you want to create it for. And then simply you write your caption and you upload your image or video. So I did that exact thing. I wrote this caption here. Our team had a great time at the Rec Realty Real Estate Conference this past weekend. Great learnings, great networking, great people, excited to see what 2025 brings. And I just went ahead and uploaded a photo of our team, chose it for all of the platforms. And now I have this lovely little photo going out the following day. Then the next day after that, I generated content about understanding home market trends to find the best time to make your offer. And what I did for this one was I went into the reels and I chose a reel. So I'm like, okay, great. Now I have a carousel post going out. I have an image going out and a post that I've created from scratch. And now I have a reel. So more variety. Again, you can see it's in my color palette. It looks nice. Good to go. Following day after that, for this one here, I generated content. This is understanding how to save money for your first home. And this image here, I actually just went into the library on Rec. I chose an image that I liked. I deleted the additional slides and I just kept that one image. So you don't even have to upload your own images. If you like one of the images you see in the, massive image library, you can totally go ahead, select that image and just use it and post it as a static image. So now I have a lovely little static image going with that optimized caption. It's not the carousel style post. It introduces some more variety. And again, you didn't have to go look for this image. You didn't have to take this image. You have this image in the library. Super, super easy. Then the next one I did was listing.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I got a question. The Instagram, I had one of the Instagram posting that you have there. I had a problem with I think the post at the top, the posting, not the caption. I could not edit the posting.
The time?
The header, I think. No, not the time, but.
Oh, the header. Yeah. Okay. So this right here, I'll show you. I'll go back into the headers. So these guys right here, see, darn, hold on. Let me find a header for you because these are all duplicated. This is my post that I created. Here we go. This will have a header. Let me find the original one.
Yeah, the post topic, because there's a post topic that I wanted to change a few words, but I couldn't change it.
It's usually right up here in the post type. I think it's just because I've edited and scheduled these. Let me just find one up here. But okay, here we go. Post topic. What are the closing costs and why do first-time home buyers in Barrie need to pay them? This is not, this doesn't post anywhere. So this is just so that you know what the post is about. This doesn't go on your Instagram. This doesn't, nothing like that. It's basically taking that topic that you entered and just telling you, okay, here's the content that I've created around that topic. And so that way at a glance, you can kind of look and be like, oh, okay, this one is about exploring Austin's tastiest, whatever. This one is about buying your first home in Barrie. This one is about whatever, but you don't have to edit that. Nobody's going to see that. It's just if you don't like the content that it generated, you can simply just delete that post and regenerate new content, but you don't have to worry about that topic being seen by anyone. So then the following day, what I did was I did a listing post. So let me just wait a second for it to open. So as you can see, I went ahead, I found a listing in Austin. Let's pretend this is my listing. And I went ahead, I generated a listing post. So as you guys know, you can click into create a property listing post up here. And it's going to give you the option to put in any public facing URL. So anything that isn't password protected or account protected, you can go ahead, simply paste the listing post in here, create your post. It's going to pull all your relevant information like it did for me down here. It's going to allow you to choose a little template, which I chose this collage. And then I simply just applied my custom colors to it. And now I have a listing post going out that week. So even more variety. And then for my Friday, I went ahead, I took Kyle's little image. So we did the same thing. We generated different posts for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, all about food in Austin. And then instead of using the editor, the carousel, or Reels, I just went ahead and clicked upload your own content, like I showed you guys earlier, uploaded his image. So now we've got this nice optimized caption here, but we have a more personal photo going out. And then on the final day, what I did was I was like, okay, I'm going to use this editor directly on RealEstateContent.ai, but I don't want the carousel style post. I just want all the features of the editor that we played with. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste one of my Google reviews, and I'm going to turn it into this nice little graphic where I can share a Google review. So I just went ahead, I used this overlay. I selected some a font. I put my little headshot on there, put my colors on there, and I just added this little caption right here. So grateful for my amazing clients. We helped Sam and Samantha find their dream home in East Austin last month, and they were a joy to work with. Are you looking to buy or sell in 2025? Feel free to reach out to Robert Reck. So I went ahead, I created this directly on RealEstateContent.ai, created the posts for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So that's going to go out on all of them, and click to schedule. So now in 1 week, I have carousel style post. I have a post that I uploaded from scratch, both caption and image. I have a reel. I have a static image that I chose from the library of images. I have a listing post. I have one that's all the captions are optimized, but I uploaded my own personal photo. And then I have a review. So in 1 week, I have a bunch of different variety going out. And that doesn't mean that you guys have to do that. You don't have to do 7 full days of variety, but it does show you kind of what you can do. If you want, you can totally just generate your posts, have them all be carousels. We have tons of people that do that, and have them all go out. You're like, I don't really care about the colors, whatever. I just want it to go out. You can totally do that. You can get all your social media done in like 15 minutes. Or if you want, you can take a little bit of extra time here and there and just kind of tweak it to make it a little bit more your own. And yeah, the possibilities are endless if you just take the time just to play around with it a little bit. So this is kind of the purpose of this call specifically. We wanted to kind of show you guys some of the more advanced features and just answer any questions you guys might have. So I'll leave it here for any questions if anyone wants to unmute themselves, or can check the chat super quick as well.
A couple things.
Sure.